Hello. Give people a chance to join, but hello, welcome aboard. Okay, we might as well get started, and if people want to come along and join us as we go, then so be it. So hello, welcome back. Hopefully you can hear me all right. Please let me know if you can. Hi Charlie, welcome to the stream. Did I name my spider? Yes, I did. She's called Luna. That was the name chosen by my viewers in last Friday's stream. So that's what she's going to be called. She's doing very well. You can't see her right now because my camera's not focused, but the tank enclosure is over there in the background. Yeah, she's settling in all right. She's actually not been very active since I've got her. She's not come out of her hide yet, but she is alive. Don't worry, there is movement in there. But I think she's still maybe not quite ready to come out and start exploring yet. Could be that she might be getting ready to molt. I don't know. I don't want to like force her to start moving about and force her to come out of her enclosure just yet. You know, let her do that at her own pace. But hopefully, you know, in the next few days, she will come out. Because I was hoping that on Wednesday I was going to do a stream where I actually got a chance to handle her and show her to you. But yeah, she just wasn't ready to come out. And she's still not quite ready. Again, maybe next week we'll see how it goes. But welcome back, everybody. Today we are going to be doing some Farming Sim. It's Farm Sim Friday. It's going to be the first time that I'm playing Farming Sim on stream. A lot of people have asked for it. I don't know how popular it's going to be. We'll just have to see how it goes. Depending on how good it goes, I might do it again, or I might not do it again. We'll see. But again, it was requested. Quite a few people asked for it, so we are going to go ahead with that. Just give me a second. I'm also trying to manage. I don't know if you can see there, but I've actually got my comment section open on my little monitor down here, which is going to make it a bit easier for me to read the comments rather than craning my neck all the way over to the second screen. But it does make it a little bit harder for me to manage the comment section. So I do apologise if any negative comments get through. I can't really do much about them at the moment. In fact, just let me I can at least mute Ethan. Thanks for coming along, Ethan. Please stop talking. But again, I do have some mods already. I got about a dozen mods now, but obviously they don't know when I'm going to go live, so it's just a case of, you know, they'll turn up once they've noticed that I'm live. But yeah, like I say, hopefully. Charlie says, make me a mod. I don't actually know how to make someone a mod through TikTok Live Studio. Oh, hold on. There you go. I've added you as a mod, Charlie. Thank you very much for offering as well. Okay, let me just pop that back out again. But yeah, as I say, just give me a second. Yeah, as I say, I've got my comment section on my small screen today. I've not done it like this before, so I don't know how well it's going to go. The comments are big enough to read, that's not a problem. It's just a bit harder to actually manage the comments when they're on that screen. But again, we'll see how it goes. Hi Saul, says Tom. Hi Tom. Yeah, as I say, we are going to be playing Farming Sim today. We'll get into it in just a moment. Because we are already 7 minutes in, so we're going to play Farming Sim again. A lot of people have been asking for it. That doesn't necessarily mean that a lot of people are going to watch it. So I do not know how popular this stream's going to be. We'll just have to wait and see. It's a game that I very much enjoy, but I appreciate it's not the most exciting game in the world to watch. I do think it's not a bad game for streaming because it's quite a relaxed, like a slow-paced game. Very low stakes, so it gives me an opportunity to spend more time reading the chat and answering your questions and stuff like that. So hopefully it won't be too bad to stream. And even if you're not interested in farming, you might enjoy the stream anyway, and you know you'll have the opportunity to ask any questions that you want as usual. So yeah. We're just going to go for it. We'll see how well it goes. If it's popular, then I will do it more often. If it's not popular, then I'll do it less often. But I have rather optimistically called this stream Farm Sim Friday Episode 1, because there will hopefully be more. I hope it is popular because it is something that I would like to play more on stream. Okay, anyway. I've took the liberty of launching the game already. I've learnt from my mistake from the Minecraft stream on Monday. That went down terrifically well. So I've already got the game ready to play this time. We're not going to be waiting around half an hour for that. You can see it here. Just give me a second. There we go. Okay, so... you'll notice that I take up the whole bottom of the screen today rather than just being in one corner. That's because I wanted to give a clear shot of my whole setup. You might not be able to see it too well because obviously the live chat covers me up, but unfortunately there's not much I can do about that. It's either I get covered up or the game gets covered up, and I'd rather I get covered up. But if you can see past the chat, you'll notice that I've got my steering wheel here, ready to go. I've also got my side panel and my flashing beacon light there, and I do have pedals down below me, but unfortunately no foot cam. You're not going to see my feet, but there are pedals down there, trust me. Yeah, sorry, but unfortunately no foot cam. You're not going to see my feet, but there are pedals down there, trust me. Yeah, so I've got the full Farm Sim setup, and I've had this wheel and the side panel for about 2 years now. I use them a lot for Euro Truck, Farming Sim, SnowRunner, other sorts of driving games like that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to showing it off to you today on the stream. In terms of the game itself, obviously we're playing Farming Sim 22, which is, as of right now, the latest edition. Farm Sim 25 has just recently been announced. There was a FarmCon last week where they showed off some of the new features, and it is very exciting. I'm looking forward to it. I am going to be pre-ordering the collector's edition probably next month, because the collector's edition has got a pre-ordering the collector's edition next month, because key, like an ignition key USB thing, which is going to go perfectly with the rest of my setup. So I'm definitely pre-ordering that. But for now we are stuck with 22. So I'm going to just head into the game. Turn off my live preview. There we go. And the plan is, I've already got a world set up. I haven't done anything in it. I haven't really done anything in gameplay-wise, but I have done a bit of construction. I'll show you what I mean by that in a minute. Mods, I will talk you through because I have got quite a few mods at the minute. If we head over to the mod hub here, I've got quite a lot installed, as you can see. It's mostly old-fashioned equipment. I wanted to do a playthrough where I used like classic and retro vehicles, which there isn't a lot of in the base game. I wanted to do a playthrough where I used like classic and retro vehicles, which there isn't a lot of in the base game, which is why I'm using mostly mods. I've actually got about 300 mods, which might sound like a lot, but there are 6,000 mods available on the mod hub, so it's really not that much in the grand scheme of things. The map that I've chosen is a Polish map. You can see it there. It's called Baric. I've deleted all my other saves because I'm going to be focusing all my effort into this one from now on. But yeah, the map is called Baric. It's a Polish map. There's quite a few good Polish maps on the mod hub. I personally am a big fan of Polish maps. They're very unique. I like the fields tend to be like really like long, thin fields on Polish farms, which I don't think you really see in other parts of the world. So definitely a unique landscape sort of thing. And again, I think Polish maps and Eastern European maps in general tend to be better for the more classic and like old-fashioned equipment, which is what I want to be playing with. So yeah, if I just head in here, you can see here's all the mods I've got. Once again, vast majority of them are like classic and retro equipment. I've got very few pieces of equipment from post 2000. There's a couple, but not many. Most of it's 70s, 80s, 90s, some of it even earlier. And yeah, I've got a few quality of life updates as well. For example, the foil wrap, net wrap, and bale twine add-ons, which are all going to be in the base game for Farm Sim 25. At the moment, they're only available through mods, but they are going to be base game features in 25, which is quite exciting. And a couple of other things, just little. They're only available through mods, but they are going to be base game features in 25, which is quite exciting. And a couple of other things, just little changes to the HUD and stuff like that to give you extra information. You've got lease to own there, as you can see, manual windscreen wipers. Not like massively game-changing stuff, just a few minor changes to make the game a little bit more realistic, but I'm not like going all out on the realism. So yeah, there it is. There's the mods. What's the farm called? The map is called Baric. That's Barcyz. Is it? Hold on. Yes, it is. And it's, as I say, it's a Polish map. We're going to get straight into it now because I've talked for long enough. And as I say, I have already been on this world briefly, just to do a little bit of setup. I'll talk you through that once we get in. Because the thing that I really wanted to do was, I didn't want to start on new farmer mode because I wanted to buy the equipment from scratch. But I also didn't want you to have to watch me building my farm and placing all the buildings and terraforming and all that kind of stuff, because that's really not exciting to watch or do. So what I did instead was I started in farm manager mode, where you've got no equipment, no buildings, nothing like that. And then I just bought a little bit of land, did a bit of terraforming for it, added some buildings, and that's it. So I haven't bought any equipment, but I have placed down a few buildings and stuff like that, which again, I'll talk you through in just a second when we get into it. Okay, here we go. Might take a second to actually load up because there's quite a few mods here. Once it's actually up and running, it should run quite smoothly, but obviously it takes a few minutes because of the amount of mods that I've got. How do you spell it again? Says Finley. Barcyz. You see it there in the bottom right, just above my head. I don't know if you can read it very well at this resolution, but that's the name of the map, Baric. Hey Saul says, Stace, hi Stacey, welcome aboard. Rob says you can start. I have pressed start. It's just taking a second to actually load. There we go, we're in. So first thing I'm going to do is show you around what the farm that I've built, and then we're going to get straight into some work. I don't know again how well you can see the UI because it is quite small on a phone screen obviously, but if you can read it in the top right there, we're in August, it's 9:16, and we've got about 5 3/4 of a mil Polish zloty. That's the currency that we're using. It equates to about €1.5 million. That's what was left over after I've built all of the farm here, which we're going to have a look around in a minute. And please tell me, by the way, how smoothly it's running, because if necessary, I can adjust the graphics settings to hopefully make it run a bit smoother. But it depends how it's going now. So equipment-wise, I've only got the car. The only thing that I've bought in terms of actual usable machinery is the car here. It's a Lizard Santana 88. I am going to try and keep the Lizard equipment to a minimum. I'm going to use branded equipment as much as I possibly can. But there aren't very many branded cars on the mod hub, especially not that fit the sort of time period that I'm going for. So that's why we're using the Lizard Santana here. The farm itself, we've got our farm building here, obviously I'm going for. So that's why we're using the Lizard Santana here. The farm itself, we've got our farm building here, obviously. This is where we sleep, and we can change our wardrobe here as well. And we got a little bit of a garden. We got a dog. I don't know if he's about somewhere, but we do have a dog. And we've got a few beehives, just for a tiny little bit of passive income. Nothing extreme, just a few small ones. And this is where the pallets will spawn. We don't have to worry about those just yet, but they'll start to pile up. So that's our sort of little living area. Then we've got quite a few sheds. We've got an open shed here, open on all 4 sides. Plenty of room for a couple of small tractors in there. And then this shed, slightly bigger, and it's enclosed on 3 sides. This has also got a couple of extra bits in it. We've got a big bag storage area here, so we can put pallets on top and underneath there. We've got a wardrobe here that we can bits in it. We've got a big bag storage area here, so we can put pallets on top and underneath there. We've got a wardrobe here that we can actually use to change our outfit. And here's what I'm wearing right now, repping the Kubota merch. And as you can see, I've tried to make my character look kind of like me. But we can change our wardrobe anytime using that locker. We've also got a chemical storage cupboard here. It's not very big, so there's probably not going to be much that actually fits in here. Maybe like some silage additive or a diesel canister or something like that. We'll see. But it is there if we do have anything to store. Where's the trigger point to close it? There we go. And this workbench is purely decorative. So those are the 2 small sheds. Then we've got a big 4-berth shed here. Should be big enough for combine and trailers and stuff like that. And we've got a big old fuel silo here, which needs to be filled. But once it is filled, we can obviously refuel our tractors here. There's the dog. Oh, I don't actually know how to pet. 1 second. Oh, there we go. Gotta give him a pet. There we go. Okay, so here is our grain silo. It's quite a small one. It holds about 100,000, I believe. So obviously we'll want to get that upgraded fairly soon, but it's not too bad to be starting with. Over this side, we've got our sort of main shed. This got 3 quite large berths here in the middle, and then a few smaller ones to the side, like sort of large garage area. We've got a pressure washer here if we want to do any cleaning, and we've got another fuel tank placed here if we want to refuel our vehicles. This in the middle is just a purely decorative little collection of bits and pieces. I thought the middle of the farmyard looked a bit empty, so I just plops down a few decorative objects. None of these actually do anything. They're just here to make it look a bit nicer. And then finally, the bit that I'm most excited about is that we do have our own farm shop. So I've got the self-marketing or the farm production DLC that came out recently. Third-party DLC that lets you sell your productions yourself. So we got a farm shop here, as well as a potato sell point and milk sell point. And I wanted to make it look a bit like a proper farm shop, so I've put a few benches out just to decorate it a little bit. And I have left a gap in the fence so we can actually get machinery in and out to deliver our items to the shop when we're ready to do that. So that's the farm. I will show you it from above as well if I just go into construction mode. Here's what it looks like from the air. So not a huge farm. It's actually made from a field. You can see this little field here next to it. This is basically what it looked like before. So I've done a little bit of terraforming, added a few buildings. Nothing spectacular, just a little bit of a farm area for us to work with. And again, I didn't want to do all this on camera because it's quite boring, so I just came on and set this all up beforehand so that we can really get started with the actual farming portion of it. One more thing before we begin, let's have a look at the game map. Here it is. So a lot of variety in field sizes. Obviously we're going to be starting off with mainly smaller equipment, so all these fields along the river here is what we're really going to be focusing on. And like along this sort of main road through the map. That's where we're going to be focusing our energies for now. There's plenty of room for expansion as well. There's quite a big area here that we can purchase. If I switch to farmland view just a sec, there's quite a big grassy area here. And if I show you that in construction mode, just over here, here it is. So yeah, there's quite a big area for us to build on here in future if we want to build factories. And so yeah, there's quite a big area for us to build on here in future if we want to build factories and production chains and stuff like that. We got a few quite nice looking older buildings like the grain mill, for example. If I can just find it, I can't find it. There we go. Here's our old style grain mill, and again you can see that only takes up a tiny bit of space, so there's going to be plenty of space there when we need it to build our factories and production chains, maybe animal pens and stuff like that. So there's plenty of room to expand, there's plenty of opportunities. It's going to be hopefully a fairly interesting game. But that is it. That's all there is to show you. So I guess we can jump straight into it. First thing we're going to want to do is buy some land, because apart from this field here that I've turned into the farm, we don't really have anything. We do own the field just over the fence here, which has actually got grass in it at the minute, so we can't really do anything with that. And then we also own this very small grass field through here as well. You can see, not very big, and it's got a track running through the middle of it, but this will be perfectly usable grass if we want to, make hay or feed animals or anything like that. But that is it. That's all the land that we've got. And if I show you that on the map, you can see, again, 3 tiny fields out of a huge area. So first thing we're going to want to do is buy ourselves an actual arable field. Preferably one that's ready to harvest, so we can get straight in there with a combine and do some harvesting. Joe Newnham says, "Hi Saul." Hi Joe, welcome to the stream. So let's just have a look what's ready to harvest. Again, I'm looking at the smaller fields along the edges. I think they're the best option. We've got field 8. That's quite far out of the way though. 11 and 16. I like the look of 16. An interesting shape. Quite small. Let's have a look how big it actually is. 1/2 hectare, so really, really small field there. Just out of interest, 11 just under a hectare, and same with 8. So they're all similar sizes. I think we'll probably start with just one field. So we'll buy field 16 there. And what is in there, actually? I think that is oat. Yep, that's oat. So first thing we're going to want to buy equipment-wise is a brand new combine harvester. So we'll head into the shop. I've got the shop sorted. If I just show you in the options menu here. I'm using the extra options mod, which allows you to filter items in the shop. So I've got it set to mods only. Again, most of the equipment in the base game is modern equipment, and I want to try and use classic equipment and vintage equipment as much as possible. So I have set the store to only show modded items. Which farm sim is this? This is Farm Sim 22, and the map that I'm playing on is called Baditch. So let's have a look at harvesters, and you can see here they are all very small, very classic looking harvesters. We're not going to go for the smallest one, but I don't want to go too big either. I think we may go for the Rostselmash Neva effect. This is a fantastic combine. If anyone played Farm Sim 15 way back in the day, it was actually the first Farm Sim that I played. The pre-order edition came with this combine, and it has been available in every Farm Sim since via the mod hub. Curiously, it's not on the mod hub for this farming sim. I had to download this from King Mods, a third-party site, but it is a fantastic little combine, so I think this is probably going to be the one that we start with. Wheel setup we'll keep standard. There's not much difference, and standard sound, yeah, we'll keep that as well. And we are going to buy it. I want to try and avoid leasing equipment as much as possible. Obviously, in real life, leasing equipment is, you know, something that a lot of farmers do. But in game, I feel like leasing equipment is a bit too easy. So I will be trying to buy equipment as much as possible. So we'll just get the header for that. And if we head to the shop, here it is. The Rostselmash Neva. Again, fantastic little combine from Russia. Rostselmash, obviously a Russian company. The width of the header I didn't actually notice. Let's have a quick look. Well, oh, I'll go to owned equipment, actually. It's 4 meters, so not very big. But the field that we've bought isn't very big either, so it should be perfect. Emma says it's a week until my birthday. Happy birthday for next week, Emma. Okay, here we go. Ooh, driving forward there. How long am I on live for, says AJV. Probably about 3 hours is my usual stream time. Ooh, hold on. Try not to back into that field. I have actually got a mod active that gives you a penalty for driving over other farmers' crops, just to make it a little bit more realistic, you know, to stop me from driving straight across other people's fields. So if I do drive across, just to make it a little bit more realistic, you know, to stop me from driving straight across other people's fields. So if I do drive across other fields, I will have money taken off me. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to head down to the new field. This is a perfect opportunity for me to show you my beacon light as well. You may have noticed it here. This does actually respond to in-game vehicles, so you can see the Rostselmash does have a beacon light, and if I turn the beacon light on, my real-life beacon light starts flashing, so that's nice. Hello, says LG. Hi, LG. Josh says, have you ever used Unreal Engine 5? What do you mean by use? In terms of like developing, I'm learning it. I haven't actually made anything with it yet, but I am trying to learn. When I was at uni, I learned how to use the the Unity engine. Sorry, but I personally think that Unreal. Sorry, I've hit a fence there. I personally think that Unreal is a better engine, and I am trying to learn it in my spare time. But again, like I say, I was trained. I was educated with Unity. Developing games, yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, again, so I've not actually made anything with it yet, per se, apart from like very, very basic like test prototypes and stuff like that. But I am learning how to use Unreal at the moment. Kay says, just smash the neighbour's fence. Yep. So again, I shouldn't really be... this is like the equivalent of checking my phone while driving, I guess, which obviously I shouldn't be doing. But yeah. Emma says, love the wheel. Thanks, Emma. And yeah, the light, I love that. I know it's only a really small thing, but I just think it's so cool. It is the kind of thing that I absolutely nerd out over. And again, this is why I want to pre-order the collector's edition of Farming Sim 25, because it does have the ignition key that actually starts the tractors in-game as well, so I'll be looking forward to that. Is the setup new? Says CV. No, I've had this for about 2 years actually, since before I was on TikTok. But it's my first time streaming with it properly. So that was our field that we just drove past, but obviously I need to try and turn round without driving onto my next door neighbour's field. I've turned the beacon off now because we're not on the road. Okay, the terrain is quite hilly. There we go. So, another thing I'm going to try to avoid is using workers. I'm going to try and do all the work myself as much as possible because, you know, that's what you're here to see at the end of the day. So yeah, if I can avoid doing it, I will try to use workers as little as I possibly can. Okay, let's start up the header and lower it. Nope, that's the disconnect button. Whoops. That's lower. And let's get going. So we are harvesting oat right now. Oh, the combine's slipping about quite a bit. This combine, I should mention, doesn't really respond that well to hilly terrain. You can see there. The header sits very low on the ground, so if there's even the slightest bump, it will sort of push the combine to one side, which is not ideal. But this map is relatively flat anyway, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. But yeah, as I say, we are harvesting oat, which we don't have any production chains set up just yet, but once we do set up our production chains, we will be able to use... You can see there I've accidentally driven into my neighbour's field, sorry about that. Once we've got production chains set up, you can actually make breakfast cereal using oat, so that'll be something for us to try further down the line. You'll notice there's a lot of weeds in the field as well, and if I open up my precision farming there, you can see that the yield is very low. Obviously, we've only just bought this field, so whoever previously owned it has not left it in a great condition. But I do have precision farming on, so we will be, you know, fertilising and spreading nitrogen and weeding and all that kind of stuff, so that next year the yield will be as high as possible. I forgot to turn up the game speed as well, let me just do that. I'm going to keep the game speed at around 15, potentially turning it up to 30 in places, but I think 15 is the perfect speed for us for now. Actually turning it up to 30 in places, but I think 15 is the perfect speed for us for now. Okay, this is going to be difficult because that's quite a steep ditch there. I may have to... I don't want to reverse all the way back down, but I think I'm going to have to. Hi Saul, I was just wondering what the most boring or bad game you've played. That's a good question. I don't know really, because you know, if I'm playing a game and I find it boring, I'll just stop playing it. So I've not really played a boring game long enough to, you know, to have a worst one. I'll have to. Oh dear, oh no. Okay, we're paying the price there. We're damaging this field a little bit. I do apologise, my guy. Oh, disconnected my header again there. Yeah, I'll have to give that one some thought. I can't off the top of my head think of a game that's like particularly bad or boring. Have I ever played Euro Truck? Yes, I have, and I would like to stream Euro Truck as well at some point if people would like to see that. Big fan of Euro Truck. I play with pro mods, so I can go pretty much anywhere in Europe, as well as parts of Africa and Asia. And I do enjoy a good long drive in Euro Truck, so yeah, if people are interested in seeing that, I'd be quite interested in streaming some of that as well. Leo asks, gender? I am a trans woman. Thanks for asking. Okay, so my plan is, I should have enough room to turn around now. It will be a bit tricky, but I should just about manage it. Hit a tree there. And obviously crop destruction is on, so I want to try and avoid running over my own crops. Oh dear, we're in the ditch. There we go. Thank you for following B Aviation 888. Of course, I will try and read out followers as they come in. I think I did miss a couple earlier, for which I apologise. But I will try and read your name out as you follow. Am I watching the Euros on Sunday? I don't really follow football, to be honest. I am aware that we have made it to the final, which is, you know, I'm sure quite exciting for anyone who does follow football. I won't be watching it myself, but, you know, best of luck to England. Is there a game you'd like to play but you either never have the time or can't for any other reason? So, that's an interesting question. I think, you know, generally speaking, the games that I really enjoy, I've spent a lot of time in, and again, if I don't enjoy a game, I don't really put much time into it. There's a couple of games that I would like to give more time and attention, but they're a little bit more intense on my PC. Again, obviously, I do have a sort of mid-range gaming PC, so there are limits. There are some games that are a bit too much for it. One game in particular is Trains, not Train Simulator, Trains with a Z. On its own, not that big of a game, but if you play it with a lot of mods, which I obviously like to do, it does tend to chug a bit. So definitely, you know, when I've got a better PC, when I've got something a little bit beefier, there are a few like more high-end games that I'd like to play. Generally speaking, again, most of the games that I enjoy are perfectly playable on this, but yeah, there's just a couple that, you know, it could be a little bit better, could run a little bit smoother. The setup's actually pretty cool, says Billy Dre. Thanks, Billy. Okay, we're about 34% full at the minute. I don't think this is going to fill up the harvester. I think we will get the whole field done without having to empty, which is good. Evan says, have I played Stardew Valley? I'm going to be honest with you, I have never actually played Stardew Valley. I'm familiar with it, and I've got friends who play it. And obviously, it is, I guess technically, it is a farming simulator of kinds. But no, I've never actually played it myself, to be quite honest with you. Have I played Minecraft Dungeons? I have not played Minecraft Dungeons, actually, or the, what was the new one? Legends, I think, the one that came out fairly recently. I've not played that either, or story mode. I've only played like Minecraft proper, to be honest with you. Oliver says hi Oliver. Oh, we're slipping again there, look. Once again, as much as I love this combine, if the ground has even the tiniest ridge in it, it starts slipping about all over the place, as you can see there. But that's good, it adds a little bit of extra realism, right? Is the steering setup worth it? It really depends how much you're going to use it, you know what I mean? Like, obviously I play a lot of Farming Sim, Euro Truck. There was a time where Euro Truck was my most played game on Steam. It isn't at the moment, but it was at one point. So yeah, I mean, it's only worth as much, as much time as you actually use it for. With the amount of time that I've spent using it, I would say it's definitely paid itself off. When you play Euro Truck, do you play on Truckers MP? I have played on Truckers MP before. Obviously, because I play with quite a lot of mods and I enjoy playing with mods, I tend to stick to single player. But I do enjoy Truckers MP. Truckers MP is very fun with a friend. Like if you've got someone to drive with you on Truckers MP, that's really fun. I had a friend at uni. I still keep in touch with them, but we haven't really played much recently. But I had a friend at uni who was big into Euro Truck as well, and we did quite a lot of Truckers MP together. Like I say, it's very fun because then you get the two-player aspect of playing with your friend, but then you also get the larger multiplayer experience of playing on a public server. So I definitely recommend that if you do have a friend who wants to play Euro Truck with you, then do Truckers MP with a friend. That is very fun. Your setup's so cool. Thank you very much, Mads. Oh, I've accidentally turned the engine off there. A little bit distracted. Again, that's because I'm reading the comments and driving at the same time. Not a good combo. What does AMA mean? Asks Joe. Ask me anything. Feel free to ask me whatever you like. There's no guarantee that I'll answer your questions, but as long as it's a respectful, genuine question, I will try my best to answer it. Jack says, "How are you doing today?" I'm doing good today, thank you, Jack. Slow Thai Curry says, "Hi, do I work?" So at the moment, I am out of work. My most recent job was at a print shop. So I was a graphic designer at a print shop in Worksop. Designing. So I was a graphic designer at a print shop in Worksop. Designing like brochures, business cards, stuff like that for small businesses and that kind of thing. A lot of work in Adobe, InDesign, Photoshop, all that sort of stuff. Unfortunately, I did have to give it up because it was just a bit too far away to commute, and it wasn't really the kind of job that can be done remotely. So I came away with it with some good experience in graphic design, which is something that I'm very much interested in. So it definitely was worth it. But yeah, that was the most recent job that I did. I'm currently looking for something a bit more game design oriented, because I do like graphic design, but I'm more, I have a degree in game design. That's more my focus. So yeah. What do I plan on doing next? Again, the idea is to get a job with a game development studio. I'd like to do either development or design. I mean, obviously they're two different things. But I'd quite like to do the design aspect of it. Like planning out levels and mechanics and stuff like that. Will the stream stop when you go back to work? I would say they'll probably be at a different time, and they may be less frequent once I'm working. Obviously, I do have the advantage right now of being able to stream, whenever I like. But once I am working, they'll slow down and they'll be sort of less frequent. But we'll see how it goes. Senanes says, "You're not a bit distracted." I guess you mean because I'm playing a game right now. Obviously, I'm not playing games on my computer 24/7. Please don't think that. Will I ever own my own farm at some point? I don't think I'd like to own a farm. I think I'd quite enjoy working on a farm. My granddad worked on a farm when I was growing up. He retired in 2010, but when I was growing up, he worked on a farm and he used to take me to work with him every weekend. So I did grow up in and around farms, which is why I'm so interested in farming now. So yeah, I definitely, I think I'd enjoy farming. Not owning my own farm because of the just the huge amount of risk involved, but working on a farm is definitely something that I think I'd enjoy. Would you ever let your spider go around the room and do what it wants? No, definitely not. Not because I'd be afraid, but because I wouldn't want her to get lost, which obviously is a very real risk. Obviously, I'll be more than happy to take her out and handle her once she's comfortable doing that. But definitely won't be letting her roam around the room unsupervised, because she'll probably go missing and I'll never see her again. Would your granddad be disappointed in you? Well, we'll never know because he is dead. I'd like to think he wouldn't be, because he was a fairly open-minded person. So yeah, again, I don't like to speculate because he's not here, so we'll never know for sure. But he did die about a year before I came out, so I guess we'll never know what he'd think of it. To be honest. I would be disappointed, yeah, but you're not my granddad, so I genuinely don't care. What do you do on this game? Asks Jack. Just farming, basically. That's the clue's in the name. We've just farmed a big old field of oat here, so we've got plenty of straw now. Tomorrow I'll be swathing that up and baling it, but for now we'll get the combine back to the yard. Slow Thai curry, do I have any income or anything? At the minute I'm just living off my savings. I did have quite a bit saved up, for a rainy day, and obviously because I've been temporarily out of work, I've been dipping into that. But I've got enough saved up to keep me going for a good few months yet. So plenty of time to be looking for other work. No cause for concern in the immediate future, let's put it that way. Autumn May to be looking for other work. No cause for concern in the immediate future, let's put it that way. Autumn May followed, thank you very much, Autumn. Oh, and Mantas also followed, thank you. Slow Thai curry, yep, life's a twisty road. Yep, exactly, that's the thing. Like, if I didn't have any savings, then I would be in trouble. But fortunately, I managed to get a few grand put away just to keep me going. Which if that's what your savings are for, right? To help you when you're going through a rough financial patch. So again, not to talk too much about my personal life and about my finances and stuff like that, but yeah. As I say, I'm not panicking or anything like that. I've got enough to sustain me for the time being. Oh, one sec. I've mounted the fence again there because I'm too busy reading the comment section yet again. Sorry. This game looks so fun. Did you have to buy it? Asks Eleanor. Yes, it's a fairly pricey game, to be quite honest. You'd probably pick it up for about 20 quid now, but obviously when it was new, it was closer to 40, and I do have the all the DLCs for both for this game, the premium and platinum expansions and all that. So I've sunk a fair few quid into it, to be quite honest. Which is why I want to get as much playtime out of it as I can before the next one comes out, FS22, which releases in November. Obviously, once that comes out, I'll be putting most of my attention into that. So I really just want to try and play as much of this one as possible while it's still like the current game. Just driving back to the farm now, and you can see the sort of environment that we're in. It's all quite rustic buildings, nothing too modern. Fairly quiet. There's actually no AI traffic on this map, which is... It's a good thing because it means that I'm not going to be driving into people, but at the same time, it does make the map feel a little bit empty. There are NPCs walking about though, like there are actual pedestrians, so it's not that empty, but yeah. Again, I'm kind of grateful because if there was AI traffic with how narrow the roads are, I'd be, you know, reversing to the nearest lay-by all the time. 1 second, someone just followed. Let me get off the road. Danny followed. Thank you, Danny. What map is it? Asks Aaron. This map is called Baryc, B-A-R-C-Y-C-Z. It's a Polish map. Okay, so here we are. Where can I park up the combine? Watch out, dog. Fortunately, the animals don't have collision on them, so I could just drive straight through the dog, but I'm not gonna. It is still nice playing the other ones. I logged into FS19 and it's excellent. Yeah, oh, I do still have 19. I don't have 17 or 15 because I originally owned them on the PS4 and I don't have my PS4 anymore. But I do still have the code for FS19 for PC. And it is a fun game. It is fun. And I will probably play this one a bit once the new one comes out. But obviously most of my attention will be on the new one. Which again is why I want to just try and get as much done in this one as I can before the new one comes out. What happened to your PS4? I just sold it. That's going back a while now. It was like around the time that I bought my gaming PC. Because I kind of felt like I've got a PC now, I might as well just do everything on my PC and play my games on it as well, especially since I spent the money on getting a gaming PC. So yeah, about 3 years ago when I got the gaming PC, that's when I got rid of the PS4. Historically though, I have been a PlayStation player. I have owned every PlayStation apart from the PS5. Including the Vita and the PSP as well. So yeah, I did grow up with the PlayStation, but now obviously I've got my PC. Kian Donaldson says, "Hi Saul, hope you're having a good day." Thank you, Kian. Jay O'Connor says, "I have an Xbox One. I've had since 2013." Great. Okay, so what are we going to do? It's 2 o'clock. Just gone to. Oh, we didn't actually empty the combine out. Probably better do that instead of just leaving it in there. As I say, the whole field only filled the combine to 80, so got the pipe stuck on the shed there. Bit embarrassing. So we'll just go and empty this into the silo over there. Have I ever farmed in real life? Asked Brooke. Well, not technically. I haven't like driven a tractor myself or anything like that, but I did, as I say, my granddad used to take me to work with him on the weekends to the farm that he worked at. So I do have experience like of being on farms, not actually doing anything myself, but like observing. Okay, which button is the pipe? I'm going to have to remember. There we go. And I should be able to tip this straight into the silo here. I might have to turn the trigger, UI trigger back on just so I can see where the tip point is. There it is. Can I actually unload straight into the silo, or am I going to have to transfer it to a trailer first? Because I would like to not do that. Mr. Rogers says, currently saving up for a gaming PC. CPU is Intel Core i5 with RTX 4060 Ti and a 1TB SSD. Nice. So I've also got a CPU, an Intel i5 at the minute. My graphics card's GTX 1050 Ti, 3GB, and I've got 2TB SSD. Okay, I don't actually think we can unload straight into the SD. Okay, I don't actually think we can unload straight into the... From problems on FS22, you used to need a trailer, not sure with 25. Yeah, I think we are going to have to transfer it to a trailer before we can tip it out. So we are going to have to buy one. We only need about 4,000 litres. So let's check in the store and see if we can find... Oh, let's check the used vehicle sales just in case. Got a decent cheap planter there when it loads. That's not bad. That would be perfect for the map and for the size of the equipment that we've got. But I'm going to leave it for now. We're not going to be planting for a while yet because it's not planting season. We'll come back to that. Mr. Rangers, sounds great. Sorry, I said Mr. Rogers earlier because I couldn't read the font. Mr. Rangers, is mine pre-built or custom? So it's pre-built. I got it from Bedrock Computers. I've got a card here for them actually that I found while I was sorting through some of my boxes. So it's like I like designed it and all that. I chose all the components, but then they actually put it together for you and send it. It is refurbished, all second-hand parts, which meant it was quite cheap. It was 450 quid. So yeah, I'm very very happy with what I've got. I've had it for about 2 or 3 years now, and it's served me well. Okay, let's look at trailers. We'll sort by capacity. Let's see. 7.1. So we're going to need something that's about 4. Although actually the yield of that field was only about 50% because it hadn't been properly fertilised. So we are going to get twice as much out of that field next year if we properly look after it. So I will get a larger trailer. I'm liking to look at this Massey Ferguson 108. But there is also the 2112. That might be a bit too big though for the equipment that we're going to be using. I'll go for the smaller one. Go for the 108. No, we don't need an auger wagon. Wheel brand, BKT or Lizard or Michelin. We'll keep BKT. We'll just keep everything standard, to be honest. Might put up the capacity to 11,550. Yeah, that sounds good. Or 9,840. Yeah, I don't like having the panel on one side. Ken says, how do you enjoy this? I just do. Different people enjoy different things. You know, it's not for everyone. But I enjoy Farming Sim. It's a very relaxing game. And I have a lot of fun with it. Doesn't it bore you? Not at all. I don't find it boring. Again, different people find different things boring. If you find it boring, I'm sorry. But I very much enjoy it. How's the spider? She's doing good. She's having a little bit of trouble settling in. She's still not quite comfortable coming out of her hide yet that she's built. But again, she's only been here a week, so we'll see how it goes. How long have you been playing? Today, you mean? I've been streaming for about an hour. In terms of how long I've actually been playing Farming Sim, for a long time. My first was Farming Sim 15, so that's going back quite a while. Brooke says, was doing some shearing back along as it was time for their summer coat. Oh, you've been shearing sheep? Nice. Okay, let's get ourselves a tractor. We need something big enough to pull that trailer that we bought because it is quite large, to be honest. So let's just have a look. Maybe a Massey. It's a Massey trailer. Maybe we'll get a Massey tractor. Ooh. Or a Ford Sabra. Quite a lot of Zetor and Ursus tractors in here. A couple of Renaults. I think there's a larger Ford as well, which I might go for. This one here. Bit pricey. But I do absolutely adore this tractor. So I may go for that. But again, we don't really need anything that big. If we head down to the smaller one, the Sabra, this might be enough actually, and it does have the drop nose for better visibility when doing field work. 75 horsepower, not bad, and we can turn it up to 95 as well. What do we reckon, guys? I'm feeling either this one, the Sabra, or the other Ford. If we go smaller, it could be a Massey. I don't know. I don't know if these would be big enough. This one doesn't look too bad. MF600. While I think about that, let's look at the chat because there's a couple of new questions. Eli says, how come I don't play the new one? This is the most recent farming sim as of right now. They've literally just announced FS25, but it won't be out until November. So this is the current farming sim. Lucas says, hello. Hi, Lucas. Jasku asks, what is the currency? The currency is Polish zloty. So I do have the additional currencies mod, and because we're playing a Polish map, I thought might as well set the currency to Polish currency. So that is Polish zloty is the currency that we are using. Did I grow up on a farm? Asks Reese Graham. Not on a farm, but my granddad worked on a farm, and he used to take me to work with him on the weekends. So I do have plenty of experience of being in and around farms. But yeah, I didn't actually live on one or anything like that. I like the smaller Massey, but I think it might be too small for this trailer. Okay, this is what happens when you have so many mods. You're spoilt for choice. You don't know what to go for. Okay. I'm going for the Sabre. I'm going for the drop nose Ford Sabre. We'll put the power all the way up to 95. We might not need that though. Actually, no, we'll keep it at 75, and we can always modify it and beef it up later if we need to. Eli, sorry, asks, what do I play on? I'm playing on my PC at the minute. You can just about see it in the corner of the frame there. Okay, wheel brand. Trelleborg, Michelin, Continental. If there's Vredstein, yeah, I like Vredstein tyres myself, so we'll go with those. Standard or wide? We'll just go standard. We'll not splash out too much at this point in time. Tyre sound we'll have on 100. Original colour scheme or I'll keep the original. I like the blue. I like the blue chassis and the blue hubcaps, so we'll keep it on blue. No front loader attacher, but that is an option for later. And yeah. Eli says the game on TT says Farm Sim 22. That's why, yeah, that is the game that I'm playing, Farm Sim 22. Okay, here is the Sabre. As you can see, it's got a sloping front there, which will be handy if we do ever get a front loader for it. It helps with like forward visibility. But looks like it's going to be the perfect size for the trailer that we've got. So let's get it hooked up. We've got a few new followers just now. Kujavek, thank you very much. Oliver DJ13, thank you very much. And Billy Jack, thank you. What's the control panel for, says Lucas. The control panel does actually have quite a bit of control over the tractor. You can see here we've got the gears there. We can shift up and down or switch into reverse. We've got buttons here for the lights, including the beacon light. And we've also got the indicators. If I just zoom in a bit there, you can see the indicators are all controlled from the control panel as well. There's also buttons to raise and lower the equipment and stuff like that, which you'll see when we get onto it. But if we just back up to the trailer here, and then connect with this button, there we go. And then connect with this button. There we go. Can we see your setup, says Eli. This is my setup that you can see right now. I can't actually move my webcam, so this is the only angle that I can show you it from right now. But this is basically it. I do also have pedals underneath the desk, which you can't see. They're just, you know, accelerate and brake. But what's here in front of you on screen now is basically the whole setup. How's my jumping spider doing? Asks Condor. She's doing well. She's settling in all right. Let me just scroll back up and see some of the previous comments. She's settling in all right. Let me just scroll back up and see some of the previous comments. Oh, if it'll let me. for some reason it does not want to let me. This is why I was a little bit apprehensive about using my mini screen for the chat, because it doesn't give me much control. So let me just have a look back at some comments, because I did miss a few. Oliver says, love the setup. Thank you very much, Oliver. User 4582652983172 says, you've opened my eyes to the trans community. Thanks. I'm not going to read all the numbers again, but thank you very much. Thanks for the comment. Who says, you've opened my eyes to the trans community. Thanks. I'm not going to read all the numbers again, but thank you very much. Thanks for the comment. Condor, I've already read yours. The Jumping Spider, she's doing good. How much did it all cost? So the PC, obviously, 450 quid. The whole setup here was 250, I believe. I got it in a big bundle, so it had the wheel and the panel and the pedals all in one big box. That was about 250 quid. And then the beacon light came with the collector's edition of Farming Sim 22, which I bought secondhand for a £5. So not too much. What's that screen thing? Is it a phone or something? So this screen here, this is actually a proper monitor. It's a lot smaller than my other monitors, obviously. Let me just put the window back there. There we go. So yeah, it is a proper monitor. It's actually designed to work with a Raspberry Pi, so you can make like wireless, like handheld computers and stuff like that with it. But it works, you can plug it in to a regular computer as well, and it works fine. I actually got this before I got my other monitor here, so this is technically my second monitor, and that's my third one. But yeah, it does very well. And it doesn't do anything for Farming Sim, but on Euro Truck you can actually download a mod that lets you pop out your GPS, so you can have your GPS on the little monitor, which is really cool to be able to look over to the side panel and have my my GPS on there. But again, there isn't a mod like that for Farming Sim, unfortunately. 450 for a PC, says Will. What specs are in it? So it has an Intel i5 processor, GTX 1050 Ti graphics card, that's 3 GB, and 32 gig of RAM, as well as about 2 terabytes of storage. It's all refurbished, all second-hand parts, so obviously a lot cheaper than buying it brand new. What's the little monitor called? I'll have to actually look that up, because I genuinely am not sure. Let me just Google Raspberry Pi monitor and it'll probably be the first result. It's called an Electro monitor. Let me just type that in chat for you so you can see the spelling of it. There you go, Electro. And there's a lot of different sizes available. This is actually one of the smallest ones. And it is actually also touchscreen capable. Not now, obviously, because it's not plugged into a touchscreen compatible device. But you can actually make this work as a touchscreen if you want to set up like a portable console or anything with a Raspberry Pi. Anyway, let's get back to the game. Thank you for all your questions. And obviously keep them coming. Hey, let's get the beacon light on because we are going to be driving down the road with this. Oh, it's starting to chug a little bit all of a sudden. I'm not sure why. It's been fine up until now, but it does seem to be... we do seem to be losing a few frames there. Hopefully it's only temporary. That didn't do anything. Yeah, it is getting a bit choppy now. Not sure why it's choppy all of a sudden. It's been running good so far, but we'll see if it passes. If not, I can always relaunch the game. As you can see here, though, the drop nose Sabre has incredible forward visibility. You can barely see the bonnet at all from inside the cab, which is good. Here we go. Okay, thank you for following, Josh. Okay, we'll stop that there. Oh, even my player movement is really lagging now all of a sudden. That's very bizarre. It may need to relog just real quick. Or maybe try saving and see if that does anything. It might do, you never know. Leon Edit says, hello there. Hi, Leon. Welcome aboard. Thank you for following, Theon. Okay, it's still doing it, so we will head back to the main menu and launch again. Go straight back in. Mr. Blue Wheels, how do you in? Mr. Blue Wheels, how do you have so much money? Do you mean in-game? My in-game currency is set to Polish zloty, and I have got currency conversion on. So actually I've only got about €1.5 million, which is what you start with in Farm Manager mode. So it looks like more, but that's just because of the currency that I'm using. Again, it is only about €1.5 million. Hopefully we can get straight back in without too much loading. Moment of truth. You can see the map name there as well, in case you were wondering. Baric, B-A. You can see the map name there as well, in case you were wondering. Baric, B-A-R-Y-C-Z. One of many incredible Polish maps on the mod hub. Press start. I already have press start. It just takes a moment after pressing start to load up. But yeah, if you're interested in Polish maps like I am, there are a huge selection of them on the mod hub. Some really great detailed ones. And I'm very happy with this one so far. First impressions are pretty good. Obviously, how well it actually turns out in the long run remains to be seen. But, you know, hopefully we can get a few years in-game out of it before we run out of things to do. Okay, we're back in. And it does seem to have smoothed out a little bit. So hopefully... It might be because of the shadows, actually. Because of the time of day, it's starting to get a little bit darker and the shadows are starting to pop up. And they are... I have got the shadow quality set to high. So it might be the shadows that are slowing us down. But I am going to sleep in a minute anyway. I'm just going to unload the grain. And then we'll get to bed. And if it is a problem with the shadows, then obviously grain. And then we'll get to bed. And if it is a problem with the shadows, then obviously it should start running smoother again in the morning. Where are you from? Asks Rhys Graham. I'm from Yorkshire, originally from Harrogate in North Yorkshire. Now I live in South Yorkshire. Okay, there we go. So now I can actually take this back to the shed, because we're not going to be needing it again for a whole year, actually. that was it. I bought it to use once, and now it's going to sit in the shed for a year, but that's how it goes. Do you play any English maps, asks Reese. Yes, I do. I do enjoy the English maps, especially maps by Oxygen David. His maps are always just so incredibly detailed. Calmsden Farm, Thornton Farm, all those kind of maps. Incredible detail, incredible realism. Ooh, backed up a little bit too far there. That'll do. Try not to get stuck in the shed. Why do you like Polish maps? I think there's just something unique about them. I love the field design. Like, if I just show you the map here real quick, you've got these really, really long, thin fields. Like Field 64, for example. I don't know if you can see that very well. But Field 64 here, that's a whole hectare, but it's like literally the width. You could do that in one go with a large combine. Like, if you had a wide enough header, you could do that whole field in one single straight line. And it's just, I've never seen any fields like that in any other country. I've never seen that sort of style with the really long, thin fields. It seems to be unique to Polish maps. Maybe other parts of Eastern Europe have similar like landscapes when it comes to agriculture, but I've not seen any other map. You know, it seems to be exclusive to Poland, this field design, and I just think it's really, really unique and interesting. Okay, so now we can tip this into the silo, hopefully. We'll not be selling it for a few months yet. The best selling price for the grain crops is usually January. And it's only August, so it's going to be going in the silo for quite a while. Now I have to show off my terrible reversing skills. I do apologise. Could be worse. Okay, why is that not allowing me to tip? PC, yes, I am playing on PC. Okay, bit of a problem. For some reason it does not want me to unload. I'm a bit apprehensive about using unload here because I don't want it to tip all over the ground. So I'll quickly save, and then I will try tipping onto the ground and see if that picks it up. Unload here. Nope, just dumps it all straight on the ground. Great. So I'm not sure why it's not letting me tip into the silo there, but it is quite annoying. Maybe I'll need to get another silo, I don't know, we'll see. Or maybe the trigger isn't where it says it is. Maybe the markings for the tip trigger aren't quite in the right place. I'll go around it a little bit and see if I can find a place to tip. If not, we'll just have to leave that stuff in the trailer for now, and we'll sort it out at another time. The good thing is, obviously, the game is not too realistic, so the crop won't spoil if I just leave it out in the open. I can just leave it in the trailer if it won't go in the silo. And we're not going to really need the trailer for anything else, as far as I'm aware. Because tomorrow we're going to be doing some baling. We're going to bale the oat field. We may also get a mower and mow the grass in our next door field and bale that into hay. We'll see how much time we've got. But bear in mind, we are already nearly halfway through the stream, and we have made quite little progress in the grand scheme of things. Am I a farmer? Asks Adam. I'm not a farmer by profession, no. But I am interested in farming. I've grown up on farms. I've been around farms all my life. So, yeah. It's definitely something I'm interested in, but not something that I do professionally. Why is my account called Ashbridge Industries? Asks Victor. My account is called Ashbridge Industries because my surname is Ashbridge. And Ashbridge Industries is sort of my my brand name, if you will. And if I ever get to a point where I actually have my own business, that's what it would be called, basically. Point where I actually have my own business, that's what it would be called, basically. You should try Power Wash Sim, it's really calming. I've heard good things about Power Wash Sim. I've never actually played it myself, but I have heard good things, and I've watched Markiplier play it, so it has his seal of approval. Rods and Moo, my husband loves Farming Sim, fab game. It is a fab game, yes. I very much enjoy it. Very relaxing. Or it is when you're not when you're not trying to find the tip point for this trailer. Wait. Have I got the wrong tip side, maybe? No, because it only tips at the back. And it's getting dark now, so I'm going to have to put my lights on. But it can't tip at this side. I mean, look where the icon is. The icon is at that side. The tip icon is at that side, so it should let me tip at that side, right? Surely. And yet, here we are, and it's not giving me the option to tip. So, we've bought a defective silo. I'm just going to have to... first person, says Scouse. Just try 5 first person. What do you mean by that? Okay, what I'm going to do is... I think you have to unfold the silo. Ah! Thank you very much, Reese. Oh, there... Okay. It had a fucking... Sorry for swearing. It had a foldable auger the whole time. Thank you very much for pointing that out to me. We could have been here all night. Oh, go on 5 instead of Farming Sim. I'm happy enough playing Farming Sim right now. I tend not to switch games in the middle of a stream. But if you have a game that you want me to play, then I will check it out and may consider playing it. Okay, the trigger is still not doing anything, unfortunately. So I think the unfolding... I think the auger is just for loading it, not for unloading. Oh, unfold blower! There we go. It has 2 separate parts that both need to be unfolded. Right, I get it, I get it. So we need to put the grain auger back in. Okay. Interesting. And now it lets us unload. Good, good, good. Okay. Okay, that has actually gone into the silo. We got there in the end. We got 4,009 litres of oat. I'm sure it said there were 4,010 litres in the trailer, though, so at least 1 litre has mysteriously disappeared into the ether. But never mind. Okay, where am I going to park my trailer? I think we'll park the tractor in the shed to my right there, but the trailer will go in here beside the combine. Should be enough space to reverse here. There we go. Will I be doing animals? Asks Reese. At some point, yes, definitely. I'd like to try and do all the animals at some point. It'll probably be chicken first, obviously, because they're the lowest maintenance. and like pigs will probably be last because they're up at the other end. Although I think cows maybe, but we'll see. And obviously I've already got bees, which I guess count as animals. Okay, there we go. Perfect fit in our little shed there as well. There's our dog. Let's give him a good night pet. Wait, come here so I can pet you. Okay, night night now. Okay, let's get some sleep. We'll be up for 6. And we'll get straight to business. We're going to need to get a windrower and a baler. And I'll probably get a new tractor as well to do those. Because obviously we will need multiple tractors at some point. Once we've started to expand our fields and, you know, get a bit more land. So we might as well start building our collection of tractors now. Okay. So I don't want to go too big or too small. This Pottinger Schwadkreisel seems to be a nice middle ground, 3 meters. Although, to be fair, this one's only 2.9 meters, so it's literally 10 centimeter difference. We may as well go for one of the cheaper ones. The FAR KS6D seems to be the cheapest. So I guess we'll just go for that. Do I still have the spider? I do. She's doing well. She's still in her hide at the minute. She hasn't really properly come out of her hide just yet, but it has only been a week, so she's still adjusting to her new environment. I'm hoping that I will be able to handle her fairly soon. Let's go for cover 2. Design color. We'll keep the blades black. We'll keep that black as well. Yeah, we'll just keep all the colours as they are. Thank you for following, Cracker. Okay, so this is 31 horsepower, so this is a good opportunity for us to get a really small tractor. Even the smallest tractor, this John Deere Model A, would be powerful enough for that. But it has a very low top speed, so I'm gonna look for something a little bit bigger. Matt says, do you have a degree? Yes, I do. I have a degree in game design, computer programming. I think we should go for the classic Massey Ferguson this time. I absolutely love this tractor, one of my all-time favourites. So, yeah, I think we'll go for one of those ones. Teddy says, just to let you know, they're called rakes, not blades, no offence. Yeah, but thanks for correcting me. Obviously, I'm not a farming expert. If I do get any terms wrong, I do apologise. We'll not bother with the front guard. We will go for the full engine upgrade this time. 49 horsepower. Wow. J Wolf, everyone seems to be playing Farming Sim recently. I think it's a sign. I think the reason that a lot of people are playing it recently is because 25's just been announced as well. Like, that's one of the reasons that I wanted to play it. Because admittedly, I haven't played it much recently. But since 25 got announced, I kind of wanted to play it. Because admittedly, I haven't played it much recently. But since 25 got announced, I kind of wanted to play as much of this as I can before it's like no longer the current game. You know what I mean? We'll keep the front headlights. Keep the horizontal exhaust. No front loader. Design color. I think that's just the tip of the exhaust. Yeah, we'll keep that as it is. FS22, what map are you playing? I'm playing a map called Baryc, B-A-R-Y-C-Z. It's a Polish map. I don't know if it's crossplay, so if you're on console, I don't know if it will be available to you. But it is on the mod hub for PC. Brad X2Y, what's my favourite game? My favourite game of all time is called Oddworld Abe's Exodus. It's a PS1 game, came out in 1998. And it's the first video game I ever played, which is why I have such a soft spot for it. Okay, so here's the Massey Ferguson multi-power. The game is still chugging quite a bit, so it might be worth restarting the game, like properly restarting, not just quitting to main menu. So I'm going to do that, and hopefully it won't take too long to relaunch. In the meantime, I'll just switch back over to my my big camera. Don't worry, I'm still here. There we go. Okay, so I'll just relaunch the game and see if that fixes it for us. Because it was running very well, actually, until like about 10 minutes ago. It just, for some reason, decided to start chugging. So we'll relaunch the game and see if that fixes it. Dom says you sound like Daggerwin. I'll take that as a compliment, thank you. Big fan of Daggerwin. Monkey Dust says, great setup, sir. Thank you very much, Monkey Dust. I'm very, very proud of the setup. Does what I want it to, so... Oh, Gary says pause. Does that help with the chugging issue if I pause the game and unpause it? If so, thanks for the advice. I'll try that again next time. Cool tie says... I'm not wearing a tie, Jason. No tie there. Mystificate ourselves. Okay, game's loaded back up. Switch back over to game view. Okay, so next time it starts chugging, I'll try pausing the game and see if... Okay, so next time it starts chugging, I'll try pausing the game and see if that fixes it. Thanks for the tip, Gary. How's the unicycle going, asks Leah. Admittedly, slow progress. I've not really made any progress, to be honest, since the last update. I can still, you know, max at about 6 meters. But I'm getting better at balancing, definitely, and I'm getting better at launching without holding on to anything. So, I mean, all progress is progress, right? Even if it's only a little progress, it's progress all the same. I knew it wasn't going to be easy, but yeah, little by little, I am seeing a bit of improvement. JD says, nice school uniform. This does look quite like school uniform, I've been told many times. I've also got a yellow jumper that goes nicely with this. I think it's mainly because of the shirt, though, to be honest. I don't tend to wear shirts that button up all that much. Well, I don't really wear shirts at all, to be honest, but when I do, they tend to be t-shirts. But yeah, this is one of my favourite shirts, actually. Got a couple of followers. Chill Nike, thank you very much. Backup account, thank you very much. And Smithy, thank you very much for following. And again, if you are enjoying, then please do feel free to give me a follow. Someone else has followed, but you've got no username, so thank you, whoever you are. But yeah, if you are enjoying, then please consider following. We're going to try. Our current milestone is 3,000. We hit 2,500 last week, so 3,000 is our next sort of goal. Thank you, DJ Tony 221 and Ronnie Griffiths and FS22. We've spent more time looking at the loading screen than we have actually playing the game at this point, to be honest. And we are just over halfway through the stream, so we're going to try and get a bit of a shift on and get some stuff done. Again, we got a lot of baling to do today, both hay and straw, so we'll try and get that done. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot to get a tether. So, that's a bit of a problem, isn't it? Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot to get a tether. So, that's a bit of a problem, isn't it? Where's my... Okay, so we're running smoothly again now. And it's raining, which actually means we can't do any baling today. Isn't that nice? So, basically our plans for the day have just entirely gone out the window. And we've bought this windrower for nothing. and I hear thunder. Okay. Well, we'll take this back to the farm then, I guess. We're not going to actually get a chance to use it because it's raining. But we'll take it back to the farm. We'll hopefully be able to do it tomorrow. It's only September. Obviously, I've got the in-game days set to 1 month each, so every day in-game is a month. So we've got October, November to get the baling done. By December it'll be too cold and the ground will start to freeze over, so hopefully it won't be raining tomorrow. Turn the gears up a little bit. But yeah, this has got to be one of my favourite tractors of all time, the Massey Ferguson 100 series. Perfect size for this windrower as well. Okay, according to the forecast in the top right, the rain isn't going to last all day. So what we can do is find something else to do just for a couple of hours, and then once the rain's cleared up, we can quickly dash over and do the windrowing, or the tedding rather. We're going to have to put this in storage and buy a tedder, which is what I should have bought instead of this. But it's okay. We're on top of it. We are going to need a windrower at some point anyway, so it's good to have, even if we don't need it right now. What map are you playing on? Asks Toby. I am playing on a map called Barycz, B-A-R-Y-C-Z. It's a Polish map, available on ModHub. It's a fairly recent one as well, I think, and it's very good. Okay, so I'm actually going to put this, because it's a very small piece of equipment, I'm going to put it in the smaller berths over here in this shed. Bit of a bump there, apologies for that. That was an issue with the terraforming. Oh, actually, it's too wide. We'll put it under there. There we go. And I'm gonna detach it from the tractor, but I'm gonna leave the tractor here as well for now. And until the rain stops, we're going to have to find something else to do. I guess because we've got precision farming on, it would be a good opportunity for us to buy the Isaria Scout and do some scanning and see what sort of fields, what sort of soil we've got. If I switch to the precision farming tab here, if you've never used precision farming, it adds in a lot of extra information about your soil quality and nitrogen and pH and stuff like that. So once we've scanned this field, it'll tell us what kind of soil we've got, and it'll also tell us the pH and nitrogen. Right now the only information we got is yield, but it is quite low, so obviously there is a lot that we need to do to get that field up to a higher yield next year. How much was your steering wheel? So the steering wheel, side panel and pedals all came together as a bundle, which was £250, direct from the Logitech website. It's called the Heavy Equipment Bundle, and I believe it's still available. So I'm going to buy, or actually I'm going to rent, because we're only going to use it for this one job, so we may as well just rent it. I'm going to rent an Isaria Scout Pro, which is what we're going to use to scan the fields and get some idea of the soil quality. And actually, we could use this. We could use the Massey for that, so we may as well take the Massey. It goes when it wants to be fair. It's quite a nippy little thing for such a small tractor. How much was your PC? Asks Warren. Did a bit of off-roading there. My PC was £450, refurbished, pre-built from Bedrock Computers. highly recommend if you want to get like a decent quality gaming PC, but you don't want to fork out for a brand new one. Refurbished is a great way to go. It's a hell of a lot cheaper, and you can still get a decent quality machine out of it. So this scrubland on the right here, once again, that is purchasable, and it will be perfect for us to put buildings on later on, production buildings and animal pens and stuff like that. My dad had 4 Massey 135s when I was younger, but had to sell them. That is a shame, Hazard. Like I say, this the Massey, the 100 series is one of my absolute favourites, one of my favourite tractors of all time. This one's a 140, obviously, but the 135, I distinctly remember the farm that my granddad used to work on had an actual working 135. Obviously, it wasn't really used much for field work, because let's face it, it is a very small, outdated tractor at this point. But it's nice to see it kept around, you know, to do little jobs. Just hit the thing there, and it is the perfect size to do a job like this. You know, to just come out once in a while, to shift some small equipment, or to do a little job like this. Nothing too intense. But yeah, what an absolutely fantastic looking tractor! Like when you think of the word tractor, this is what you think of, right? This is like the tractor. What do you use the stick on the right? The stick on the right here is for changing gears. You can see there I've dropped down to first gear there, and I can also reverse and use the lower gears. So shifting it side to side shifts the shifts from like reverse to neutral to forward, and then shifting it up and down changes the actual speed. Do I not have a gear stick? No, I don't. And I don't actually have room for a gear stick either. I've got too many peripherals plugged in as it is. But you know, this works fine because the gear system on Farming Sim isn't the most realistic. So, you know, to be quite honest, like a full proper gearbox, I think would be a bit much. It depends. I mean, if you want to do that, go for it. But I don't think that this game really is. I don't think it's really necessary for a game like this, because the gear shifting is quite simple. And in all fairness, I'm not very great with gears anyway. I tend to just put it in the highest gear and drive off, as I'm doing right now. Okay, so our field is on the left in a minute, just after this corn. Close call there. Here it is. Oh, the rain's stopping. Of course the rain stops right now. We really need to get this baled before it starts raining again. Okay, I'm gonna very quickly do this because it does need to be done, and we might as well do it now. We've bought the equipment. Lower soil sampling unit. Unfold soil sampling unit. Thank you for following. It's Kyle1994. Perfect timing, says Morgan. Yeah, almost perfect timing. It would be perfect if I had the windrower with me right now. I'm gonna have to go back to the farm to pick it up. But yeah, we've got what we needed. And we will need to take a soil sample at some point anyway, so we may as well do it now. So if you can see in the bottom left of the game screen, that's taking a sample of the yellow circle. I'm just going to drag it a lot across the ground. It's only rented. You look like you're having fun, says Rin. Very much so, very much. Absolutely love Farming Sim. Always been a big fan of this series of games. Like I say, my first was FS15, way back when, on the PS of this series of games. Like I say, my first was FS15, way back when, on the PS4. Do I play Flight Simulator? I'm not really interested in planes, to be honest, so I've never played Flight Simulator. Trains, tractors and trucks, that's me. but plains, not so much. Okay, it's very difficult to see the field boundaries, but plains, not so much. Okay, it's very difficult to see the field boundaries on the minimap, so I'm not actually sure if that's got all of my field. Let me just have a quick look. No. So there's a little bit in the corner there that it hasn't quite got, and then obviously some more above. So let's get right up into the corner. And take a sample here. And if I zoom in, you can see, well, it's hard to see, but it is actually scooping up a tiny little bit of soil in those cups there at the bottom of the machine. And what's going to happen is, once we've taken all the samples, we'll send them off for analysis, and then in a couple of days' time, it'll tell us what kind of soil we have, and therefore, you know, how much nitrogen and how much fertilizer we'll need to put on it. Okay, I think one more here should cover it. I'll just check the minimap again in a second. Yep, the edge of the field's just there. So that's it. We've covered our land. That's all that matters. Yep, the edge of the field's just there. So that's it. We've covered our land. That's all that matters. And this is a rented machine, so we'll just take it back to the shop. Oh, after we've sent the samples off for analysis, obviously. We should probably do that. Where's the option for that? Do I need to switch to the tractor? Yeah, send soil samples for analysis. The soil samples are now sent to a laboratory for analysis. You will see the results on the soil types map soon. There we go. So very shortly we'll find out what kind of soil we've got and how best to increase our yield for the next harvest. Have I thought of going on Twitch, asks Rin. I actually did stream on Twitch for about a month back in 2022. It didn't really go anywhere though. I've definitely been a lot more successful here on TikTok. And I'm happy enough carrying on with TikTok as I am right now. Thank you for following Jack O'Brien. JJ4334, is this a bit like a builder where you can buy more land? Yeah, you can buy more land. There is some limited building capability in it. But obviously it's more of a farming focused game than a building focused game. But you can do some basic terraforming and you can place buildings and stuff like that. Okay, I don't actually know where the return point is for the equipment, so I'm just going to detach it and then return it using the in-shop menu. If I go to leased items here, return, there we go, send that back. And now I'm going to have to buy a tedder, not a windrower. I've already bought a windrower and it was the wrong thing. We need a tedder, so I'm going to buy a tedder. We've actually only got 3 tedders available to us, and the widest one is 3.7 meters. Not ideal. I might have to check the mod hub and see if we can get any slightly bigger ones. But again, we are going for classic equipment only, so it might be a bit tricky. No cover. Let's not bother splashing out for a cover on this one. That'll do. Have a good game, says Dylan. Thank you very much, Dylan. See you later. Gandhi's Flip Flop followed. Thanks very much, Gandhi's Flip Flop. Welcome, welcome aboard. Okay, so we're just going to grab this tedder now. Again, for those of you who are not farming savvy, I've just smashed straight into it there. What a tedder does is it turns over the freshly cut straw to dry it out. Or hay rather, it turns over the hay to dry out into straw. And then we can bale the straw and sell it, or we can use it as bedding for our animals. Harry Nolan, thank you for following. Like the fit, says Coolman Tom, thank you, Coolman Tom. What's the map? The map is called Barycz, B-A-R-Y-C-Z. It's a Polish map. and it is available on Mod Hub. I'm not sure if it's cross-play, so fair warning if you're playing on consoles, but obviously it is definitely available on PC. Natalie Louise Davey, just watched some of your videos. You're a beautiful person. Thank you very much, Natalie, and thanks for watching. What specs do you have? Asks Rem. I've got 3GB graphics, 32GB RAM, and an i5 processor. Harry Nolan followed. I don't know if I've already read your name out, Harry, but if I haven't, then thank you for following. Okay, here is the field. Randall Kirk 65. Have I still got the sausage and peas fella? Unfortunately, there are no peas in Farming Sim. It's one of those crops that I'd really like to be added to the game, but at the minute, no luck. We can have pigs though, so I guess technically we can have some sausages. Okay, so we're going to start tedding, and you'll see here, if we're heading in the right direction, it's basically going to just turn over the hay. You can't actually see the hay very well, but if I keep the camera at this angle, you can see we're following along the hay here. All it does basically is churn it up and flip it over, which helps it to dry out quicker. And especially since it's just rained, we are going to need it drying out. And then we're going to have to come in with the windrower to get all arranged into nice neat rows, and then bale it. How's life? Asks Widgeon. It's very good, thank you. Having a good day. Do I farm IRL? Says Detectorist Fred. Oh, nearly missed a little bit there. Distracted by the chat again. Sorry. No, I don't farm in real life. I grew up on and around farms. My granddad used to work on a farm when I was little, and he used to take me to work with him on weekends. So I've spent a lot of my childhood on farms, but I'm not a farmer myself. It is something that I think I'd enjoy though. I wouldn't enjoy being a farmer per se because of the amount of risk involved, but I'd like working on a farm. I think that's something that I could see myself doing. Have to learn to drive first. This is surprisingly calming, says Harrison. I agree, Harrison. One of the things that I love the most about this game is that it is very relaxing. You can kind of just take it at your own pace. Missed a bit, says Lewis. I may have missed a tiny bit. I do apologise. It's because I'm trying to read the chat at the same time. But we're not to a bit. We're not to a bit. That's what my granddad would say. And it's very difficult to see what's been tedded and what hasn't, because it's all the same colour. Just try and follow the rows that I've already made. How long have you been doing this? If you mean today's stream, I've been streaming for about 2 hours. Yeah, we're just coming up to 10 to 5, so about 2 hours in-game today. I'm going to play for another hour. That's how I usually play 3 hours on my gaming streams. So we'll try and get as much done as we can in that time. How much did the controls cost me? So from the official Logitech store, this is the heavy equipment bundle. It was £250. That includes the wheel, the side panel, and the pedals. So it's all in one. It's everything you need for Farming Sim. It is specifically designed for Farming Sim, so it does very well. No, I mean playing Farming Sim. Oh, if you mean playing Farming Sim in general, I've been playing Farming Sim since Farm Sim 2015, or well, just Farm Sim 15. That was my first, and obviously that came out way back at the very end of 2014, so about 10 years. I missed the price. How much for the lot? £250. £250 if you're in the UK, which most of my viewers usually are. £250 for the steering wheel, side panel and pedals, which you can't see, but they are down below me. You can see right now I'm driving because my foot is on the pedal. Are the controls compatible for console or no? I do not believe they are. You would have to check. but I would guess probably not. But it's worth checking out if you're interested. But obviously, if you are playing on console, then make sure you absolutely are 100% sure before you spend money on it, because I genuinely don't know. Cool setup, ma'am, says Nick. Thank you very much, Nick. I've got the flashing beacon light here as well, obviously. It doesn't work on this particular tractor because it doesn't have a beacon. But you will get to see that in action a bit later on. Oh, Taylor says it does work. I've got mine on Xbox. Well, there you go. Good news. It is compatible, therefore, with consoles. Good to know. Can you drive in real life? I cannot actually drive. No. I have driven a tractor once on one occasion before, when I was about 15. Don't tell anyone. But yeah, that's literally the only driving experience I've ever had in my life, is that I once drove a tractor in a field for about 50 metres. Again, that was back when my granddad worked on a farm and he used to take me to work with him. But I've never driven a car. Ryan says, I drive tractors IRL, but playing farming sim is only fun with a wheel. I don't fully agree. I do enjoy farming sim's fun enough, but the wheel definitely elevates the experience a lot. And especially Euro Truck is a game that I think genuinely is a completely different game without the wheel. I just can't. Once you've played it with the wheel, you can't imagine playing it without the wheel, if that makes sense. With Farming Sim, I could play it without the wheel, but it would be a lot less fun. But yeah, Euro Truck without the wheel is like tea without milk. If you're the kind of person who doesn't like tea without milk, which I don't. Which is your favourite map? Asks Gandhi's Flip-Flop. In the base game, or including the DLCs, I really like the scenery on Silver Run Forest, but unfortunately I don't enjoy logging. I'm really not a big fan of the logging, especially the logging physics are not the most amazing. But the map itself is really picturesque. It's a really beautiful looking map. Unfortunately, it is designed for logging, and there's really no space on that map to do arable. So yeah, in terms of the pure scenery and visuals of it, Silver Run Forest. In terms of actual gameplay, I quite like. Is it pronounced Aubaileron? I believe the French map that's in the base game. Why do you have the side panel sideways? It just makes more sense to me. It makes more sense to have it facing in this direction, I think. It's a lot more comfortable, it's a lot easier to reach the buttons, and plus in a real tractor, the buttons are literally on the side, I think. It's a lot more comfortable, it's a lot easier to reach the buttons, and plus in a real tractor, the buttons are literally on the side, right? So I think it's more realistic having it this way than having it facing forwards. In fact, I bought an L-shaped desk, especially so that I could have the side panel facing in this direction. Okay, nearly done with the tedding. I believe we can do the windrowing straight away. Obviously, in real life, you have to actually give it time to dry out, but I think in Farming Sim, once you've tedded it, it's automatically dried out. So someone let me know if I'm correct on that. If so, I'll get this windrowed straight away, and then we might even. Yes, you can. Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, we might even be able to get this baled straight away, and then we might even. Yes, you can. Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, we might even be able to get this baled today as well. Which button is fold? Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. That high as a worker. That one. There we go. Found it. Excuse me. You can windrow it without tedding, but it's not as realistic. Yeah, I mean, to be quite honest, I'm not too fussed about the realism. I do like to play the game realistically, and usually I do have a few more realism mods added. But for the sake of, for the sake of the stream, I'm not too bothered about being super realistic. I just want to get stuff done, so I think we will probably windrow it straight away. Do you play iRacing? I've not heard of iRacing. Is that like an actual game called iRacing? If so, I'm not familiar with it, sorry. Okay, so we're going to head back to the farm now, drop off the windrower, drop off the tedder, sorry, and pick up the windrower. Close the help window there and the minimap. It's a racing simulator. Cool. It might be worth a try. Obviously, this wheel isn't designed for racing. It's like designed for heavy equipment. But I have played racing games with it. I've played Burnout Paradise with the wheel, which was an interesting experience. So yeah. Can you change your tractor, please, to a beacon one? I can give you a quick show off of the beacon. Yeah, just let me get back to the farm. Oh, off-roaded a bit there. I use some mods, but better to use barely any, in my opinion. I think it really depends what kind of farming experience you want, because for me personally, I prefer to play with like classic equipment, older stuff like the Massey here, and there's very little classic equipment in the base game. There's usually like 1 or 2 pieces, and then maybe there's a pre-order bonus. But like the amount of classic equipment in the game is very, very low. So if you want to play with like all this older like 60s and 70s equipment, you kind of have to use mods, right? But again, it depends on what kind of experience you're going for. Okay, so we're going to pop the tractor in here. Oh, actually, we'd best detach from this. There we go. I'm going to leave that there for a second and just hop in the Sabra. This is a little bit overpowered for the windrower, but if you want to see the beacon light in action, then I'll show it off. So here we go. There she goes, and obviously the tractor in-game actually has the beacon on as well. I'll keep this on till we get to the field. Obviously, you wouldn't really have the beacon on around the farmyard, or when you're doing field work. You only really need the beacon when you're out on the road. Yeah, definitely a bit overpowered for this piece of equipment, but it'll do. A lot of people use beacons on fields. Oh, well, I didn't know that. In my experience, they're usually reserved for like when you're on the road, which is just what I'm familiar with. But again, I'm not a professional farmer. What map, says Jarlath? This map is called Barich, B-A-R-C-Y-Z, YCZ, sorry. It's available on the mod hub. It's a Polish map. Megan says, hey, hi Megan. Welcome to the stream. Okay, we just gone 5, so another hour should be enough time for us to get some stuff done. What tractors do you have on this? Currently, I've just got the Ford here, the Sabra, and a Massey Ferguson 140. We are only on day 2, so very, very new to this particular world. The only thing I play is The Sims, says Stace. I like The Sims. Sims is good. I prefer Sim City, but The Sims itself, not bad. Okay, so what we're going to do now. How do you get so much money? It says 007. So actually I don't have that much money. My currency is set to Polish zloty, so it says 4.8 mil. But actually I don't have that much money. My currency is set to Polish zloty, so it says 4.8 mil. But actually that's only about 1.5 mil euros. So I haven't actually spent much money from the start of the game. Again, it looks like more, but that's just because of the currency that I've got it set to. Okay, let's... Again, it looks like more, but that's just because of the currency that I've got it set to. Okay, let's lower the windrower and turn on the windrower. And let's get windrowing. Okay, we are actually missing a bit there because some of it's gone over the edge of the field. But I'm choosing to ignore it. Otherwise, we'll be here all day if I try to be too perfectionist about it. Buy a Fent, says Jarlath. I will probably be buying a Fent at some point. I have got a few classic Fents. Let me just show you in the mods. In fact, if we sort by brand, I have got a few classic Fents to try out. Ignore all that. Yep, we've got the classic Fent Farmer 300 here. This is quite a nice one. Definitely looking forward to trying that out. Then obviously we've got the Favorites, which are base game tractors. And we've also got the larger Favorite 900. There we go. So yeah, we'll definitely be trying out some Fent equipment at some point. But I kind of want to start small and work my way up, which is why at the minute we've just got the tiny little Massey 140 and the Ford Sabra here. I forget what number it is. Will you next play Euro Truck on stream? I'd consider playing Euro Truck, yeah. The only problem is, at the minute, because I'm playing Minecraft on Mondays, and I may be playing this a bit more regularly, I don't want to be playing too many games, you know what I mean? So it might happen, but I think I'll probably do a bit of Farming Sim first, like do a few streams of this, and then switch to Euro Truck, rather than playing too many games at the same time. Make a crop circle, says Hoops Pukes. I could go into my neighbour's cornfield there and just start tearing it up, but I will get fined for it, and I don't want to lose too much money. Oh, I'm still reversing there. I forgot to change direction. How's it going, asks Will Pearson. It's going good, Will. Thanks for asking. Okay, well, actually, I'll go back around in the opposite direction. And then that'll windrow it all into one nice big pile. A few less runs for the baler to do. Okay, it's already 3 past. I'm going to turn the time scale down to 10, just to give us a little bit of extra time. Jake said, what's that beeping? That might just be an animal noise. There are some very noisy animals in the background, and some of them do make a sort of beeping kind of noise. Mike Fox, you're doing some farming. Oh no! Yes, I am doing some farming, quite badly. I've just ran into my neighbour's field. I'm pressing the wrong buttons, that's why. I keep getting distracted and pressing the wrong buttons. Okay, concentration, Saul, concentration. How's my day been? Asked Cody. It's been a good day, thanks for asking. This is a great tractor as well, by the way, I've got to say. It's very, very unique. There's not many tractors with that that drop nose design, so it does make it look very different. There we go. Press the right button this time. Okay, so I'm going to do two more headlands, and then we'll do the rest of it in runs. There we go. Oh, there's a deer. I have got a mod on called Critters, which makes more animals appear, and it makes them appear in fields and stuff like that. So, as you can see, there is a little deer over there. I don't think a deer would really get that close to active farming equipment in real life. Probably be a little bit frightened, but you know, it's a good sight to see anyway. Someone just followed, Jacob. Thank you very much, Jacob. Barney always did 4 headlands, up then down. Very true. That's my dad, by the way, everyone, Dean Poole. Thanks for the comment. Finn, I like realistic farming, like you haven't got a massive tractor to do a tiny field. No, exactly. I mean, I think, for me personally, it takes all the fun out of it. Again, everyone has different play styles, and if you find it fun to, you know, to get a massive tractor and do the whole field in a few seconds, then fair enough. But for me personally, I think, you know, if you get a big tractor and just do it all in one go, then you've basically missed out on half the gameplay. You know what I mean? It's like speed running. You know, if I've no hate to speedrunners. If you enjoy speedrunning games, then fair enough. But me personally, I don't think I'd enjoy, like, playing a game as quickly as possible is kind of taking the fun out of the game itself, in my opinion. Which again, if that's how you enjoy the game, and everyone enjoys the game differently, that's fair enough. But yeah, I just like to do this slower, more realistic pace. Stream is glitching so much. Are you running a GT 1030? My graphics card is a GTX 1050 Ti, 3GB. I do apologise if the stream's looking a bit choppy. There we go. I'll try the pause game trick, because someone said to me earlier that pausing and unpausing can sometimes speed things up. Stream's fine, it's their signal. Well, I'm doing it anyway now. So, unpause, and if that does help anyone, then fair enough. Okay, so we've done 4 headlands now and got 2 nice rows around the edges. To finish off, we're just going to go up and down. Although actually, we should be going up and down from the other end, shouldn't we? Yeah, we should be starting from here. There we go. How's your jumping, Spider Bean? She's been very well. She's settling in all right. So far, she hasn't really come out of her hide, but it has only been a week. You know, they do need a little bit of a period of adjustment. She has eaten though, so I know that she's getting nutrition and she's alive and well. But yeah, she hasn't really come out of her hide apart from poking her head out every now and then. A few new followers. CLA Army, thank you very much. Emily, thank you. Yeah, I actually had to put her food in her hide the other day. You shouldn't really do that. It's not recommended to feed jumping spiders that way. But I was getting a little bit concerned that she hadn't eaten anything since arriving, so I just sort of held a mealworm up outside her little den, and she popped out and grabbed it and took it back in. And then an hour or so later, she dropped out the exoskeleton, so she's definitely eaten at least once this week. I'm hoping that she'll eat again today because that was Monday, so she hasn't eaten since Monday. But again, we'll see how it goes. I don't want to try and force her to eat because obviously if they're not eating, it can be a sign of stress, but it can also be a sign that they're getting ready to molt. So I don't want to force her to eat if that's the reason. I'm just going to keep an eye on her and see how that goes. Did I decide on a name on her? Yes, she's called Luna. That was the name chosen by my viewers during last Friday's stream. Thank you all for your suggestions. But Luna was by far the most popular suggestion, so that's what I've decided to name her. Okay, 16:34. I might have to turn the timescale down again to 6. Another deer there. Just because I want to try and get baling done today as well. I know a lot to do in one day, but if we can do it, then we will. Luke follow, thank you very much, Luke. What animal am I talking about? I've got a pet jumping spider. You can't see her because she's way over at the back of the room, but I bought her last Tuesday and I showed her off on stream last Friday. She's been with me for about a week, so she's still settling in. Harrison followed, thank you very much, Harrison. What map are you on? Asks Diego. I'm playing a map called Barycz, B-A-R-Y-C-Z. It's a Polish map, available on the Mod Hub. Very good map, I'm enjoying it so far. Oh, missed a tiny bit there. What's your favourite game? Asks Aidan Cook. My favourite game of all time is called Oddworld Abe's Exodus. It's a PS1 game, came out in 1998, and it's one of the first video games that I ever played, so it has a very special place in my heart. Oh, I've accidentally just disconnected the windrower there. And it's also just a good game as well. Like, I know slight nostalgia goggles because it was the first game I ever played, but it is genuinely a really good game in its own right. Have I played Stardew Valley? I haven't played Stardew Valley, no. I've got friends who play it though, and I've heard good things. But no, I've never actually played it myself. Oh, hold on. What game is that? What I'm playing right now is Farming Sim 22. Try and merge that into this one near the top there. Okay, we're getting there. It is. I'm aware that it's starting to. The sun's starting. I've disconnected my. Okay, right. Just so you know, this button here attaches the implement, and this button here raises and lowers it. So if I ever disconnect my tool by accident, it's because I'm pressing the wrong one of these two buttons. I'm sorry. Deanpool says, I need to have a drive on that rig. I do think you'd enjoy it. I know you like your farming sim. It's very fun. And it's like I was saying earlier, it does completely transform the experience. Like it's an entirely different game. with the wheel. And the same goes for Euro Truck. Like, I literally can't imagine playing Euro Truck Simulator without the wheel, because I'm so used to playing it with the wheel at this point. Samir, do you think you'll be a real farmer one day? I think it's something that I could see myself doing, yeah. I don't have any solid plans to do that at the minute, because obviously the field of work that I'm interested in right now is game design and game development, which is quite a long way away from farming, obviously. But I do think it's something that I'd enjoy. Like I say, I grew up on and around farms. My granddad worked on a farm, used to take me to work with him on the weekends. So I've got it, it's sort of in my blood, you know, I've got the taste for it. I can definitely see myself doing it at some point. Grandad would have loved it, said Dean Paul. Yeah, in fact he did. He did enjoy Farming Sim for the brief time that that he saw me and my dad playing it. How's Spider doing? Asks Zoe. She's doing fine, thanks for asking. She's still settling in, hasn't come out of her enclosure yet, hasn't come out of her hide yet. I don't know if you watched the stream last week, but she, you know, there's like a little spiral of wood, like a cone-shaped spiral. She's living in there. She made a nest in there. I kind of predicted that that's where she was going to go, but that's where she's built her hammock. And she hasn't come out of it since, but she did eat on Monday, so she's alive and well. Just taking a little bit longer to adjust than I first expected. Okay, so it's 5 o'clock. We do still have time to do baling, I think, if we get back to the farm nice and quick. Dean Paul says, what's your favourite tractor? My favourite tractor of all time is actually the original Cat Challenger. And I do have it as a mod. I'll just show you. It's on the large tractors here. There it is. So this is not technically the original. The first one was the Cat 65. This is the 75C. But it's the oldest one that I could find. This is not on the mod hub, by the way, but you can download it from other mod websites. And yeah, I just love this thing. The new Challengers are alright. But this thing, I don't know. There's just something about it. I love it. It's a really great tractor. So yeah, this is without doubt my personal favourite tractor, and we will be getting it at some point and putting it to use when we got some slightly larger equipment. Do you have any vintage cabless? Yes, I do. I'll show you in just a moment. So at the moment we've only got 2 tractors. We've got this one, the drop nose Ford Sabra. And then back at the farm we have a massive Ferguson 140, the vintage tractor, in some people might say, myself included. But you'll see that in just a moment when we get back to the farm. Am I watching the Euros? A few people are asking. I don't personally follow football, but I am aware that we have made it to the final, and obviously, you know, best of luck to England. H says, hell of a dead zone on the wheel. The dead zone is actually set to 0. It is unfortunate that the hardware itself has a dead zone. It's a shame, but the actual software dead zone is set to 0. It is what it is. You know, it's not ideal, but I can't complain really. It's good enough. Okay, so here we are back at the farm. What is dead zone? I've never understood what it means. So dead zone means that if I turn the wheel a little bit like this, the actual tractor wheels don't... Well, they do there actually, but if I turn a little bit like this, you can see the in-game wheels aren't turning. They only turn once you've turned the steering wheel a certain amount. And it's again, it's not perfect. There is a tiny bit of give there, but it's not a massive amount. It's not like a game-changing amount for me anyway. Okay, turn the beacon off because we're in the yard now. You can see there's the Massey 140. Let's see that in just a second. There we go. Oh, hold on, we're touching the back of the shed there. There we go. Oh, and just reversed into the... I'm sorry, I'm very sorry. I'm normally better at this. There we go. You stay there. This is a pretty cool tractor as well, by the way. The Ford Sabra with the drop hood. Very unique looking, and it does allow for some really good visibility out of the front cab, which is, you know, which makes it very good for front loaders. I might get a front loader for this at some point, actually. We'll see. Sloped bonnets are so annoying in real life. Oh yeah, I can imagine in real life they might not be the easiest to work with. Drop nose, not hood. Whatever you want to call it. Same difference, really. But yeah, I think maybe in real life they're not so great, but in game, I like it. I like the extra visibility that it gives me. Okay, so, yeah, I think maybe in real life they're not so great, but in game, I like it. I like the extra visibility that it gives me. Okay, so, we do still have to bail, and I am going to do the bailing now, before it gets dark, because it's got to be done. Deanpool, I worked with a cabless international on my first ever field after leaving school. Nice. I think we do have some international, some like pre-case stuff here. Yeah, look at that. We got some farm oil tractors there, and a couple more. So we got a few cabless internationals there. Particularly the farm oil with the close front wheels. I'd love to take that for a spin at some point. We'll see how it goes. But for now, again, we're going to buy a baler. I'm going to go straight for the smallest baler, the FAR APN. It's only 15 horsepower, so we are going to use the Massey for this. Active with... I'm not sure what the active with storage means, but I'm going to get it. Okay, so we hop in the Massey. Here it is, the 140. Again, this is probably another one of my favourite tractors. Very, very, very classic. Again, I think this is like... When someone says the word tractor, this is kind of the first thing that comes to mind. This is like one of the most iconic tractors of them all. Okay, it is starting to get... the sunset is starting to come in. But it should stay light long enough for us to do the baling. It's only a small field. We didn't get a chance to do the grass baling today, which is a shame. But we do still have a grass field next door to look at some point. Buy a Massey if you want a new gearbox every year. Fortunately, I don't own any real tractors, so I don't have to worry about maintenance costs and stuff like that in reality. But yeah. Which map is this? This is a map called Baric, B-A-R-Y-C-Z. It's a Polish map, available on the Mod Hub. Okay, here's the shop. And there's our new baler. This does have a PTO, doesn't it? It better do. Yes, it does. Thank God for that. That would have been quite awkward. Oh, we need to put bale twine in it as well. So, just to explain, I am using the bale twine mod, which means we actually have to add some twine into the baler for it to be able to work, to wrap the bales in twine. We'll get some Massey Ferguson twine, might as well, because the tractor itself is a Massey. If you have 4mm, why don't you use better stuff? Because the entire point of this game, the entire point of this playthrough is that I want to use classic equipment as much as possible. I really love like vintage farm equipment, so I want to try and stick with the older stuff as much as I can. Yeah, I could afford more expensive stuff, but I'm happy enough with what I've got here. How do I refill, actually? No, that detaches. Nope, that one folds. Okay, I don't actually know how to refill this. Okay, I don't actually know how to refill this. Do I need to unfold it first, maybe? Or do I need to get around the other side, maybe? Hold on. There's no refill option. Bizarrely. I do apologise. Nope. Nope, none of it. I do apologise. Nope. Nope, none of these are doing it. Why are you not refilling? Let me check the store. Wait. Is it definitely twine or is it net wrap? Hold on, I'm going to have to buy some net wrap as well and see if it's that. I might have bought the wrong thing. Oh, but the net wrap's so much more expensive. Okay, let's just get it. But surely for this type, this is a square baler, so surely it should be twine, not net wrap. Whatever, we'll see. If it fills it, it fills it. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Nope. Okay, bit of a problem. I don't understand why it's not filling. I might have to buy a different baler. I do apologise. Let's try and buy the next size up, the Fortschritt K454, because for some reason it just will not let me put any twine into the far baler there. Should we get 3-point or standard? We'll just get trailer. We don't need the trailer attacher. Should we get 3-point or standard? We'll just get trailer. We don't need the trailer attacher. Twine add-on activate with storage. We'll keep it blue. I like the Fortschritt blue. So this one makes the same size bales, but the baler itself, obviously, slightly different design. Oh, it's a lot bigger than I thought it was, actually. Ooh. This is going to be interesting, but we bought it now. Okay, unfold. See, it's still not giving me the option to refill. I don't understand why. But if I can't refill it, then I can't bale. basically. Well, this has not gone well. Square balers use twine, not netting. Yeah, I've got twine. I've bought twine and netting, just in case, and it won't take either of them. Like, it's just not coming up with the trigger to refill or anything like that. Okay. Problem. Let me just see what I can do. Okay. Set that to keyboard. Okay, it does refill with the R key. For some reason, it doesn't have a corresponding key on the side panel, which is very annoying. It does also mean that I've bought 2 balers for no reason. I only need 1. I love your red jumper, says Alfie. Thank you very much, Alfie. Okay, now we can refill the baler. Great. So for some reason there's just no key binding on the side panel, so I had to use my keyboard. Annoying, but I'll have to map a button so that it actually works in future. In the meantime, we got our baler now. There's still a bit of daylight left, so let's get down to the field nice and quick and get it done. I don't know what we're going to do with the second baler. I might have to just sell it again, because we don't have any use for it. We only needed the 1. And after that little issue there, we are back. We're back to work. Yeah, this one's much more the Massey's size. That Fortschritt one, just way too big for this tractor. Oh, don't run into our neighbours' fields. They won't be very happy. Okay, here we go. At long last, the baling begins. We're baling. And it is getting dark. We'll put the lights on. I know we're missing bits. Again, I'm not really too fussed if we miss... As long as we don't miss anything massive, like that massive bit that we just missed there. It's very difficult to do corners with an implement that doesn't sit directly behind the tractor. Like, obviously the baler's off to one side, so it makes it very hard to do corners correctly. Okay, we've made 3 bales so far. And these bales can be picked up by hand as well, because they're very small ones. So I'm sure we can get a small, cheap bale trailer and just pick them up and put them on there by hand. Wrong button again. And again. Try not to jackknife. Hi, says Aiden. Hi, Aiden. Welcome to the stream. Oh, wait. Lower pickup? Yeah. There we go. Yeah, I think we'll finish this baling and that'll probably be it for today's stream. I was hoping we'd get 3 days done, but as it turns out, we've only managed 2. In future streams, again, I'm going to aim to get at least 3 days done. Depending on what we set the time scale to, we might get more or less done. But at least for today, as long as we can get this field baled, that's all I'm really fussed about. The bales won't deteriorate overnight, so we can pick those up tomorrow. And then that will probably be it for today's stream. As you can see, starting to get quite dark now. Oh, we've missed quite a bit there again. Let's see, that's because we're losing daylight, and it's harder to see where I've gone and where I haven't gone. To see where I've gone and where I haven't gone. Oh, we got a new follower a little bit back, Daniel Shep. Sorry I didn't see you earlier on, but thank you for following. Ooh, try not to push that bale into next door's field. Or run over that one. A bit late. Where's that? Oh, it's stuck in front of us. Okay, we got 30 bales out already, so there's definitely going to be quite a few of them by the time we've done the whole field. Again, they are very small bales, so it won't add up to too much in the grand scheme of things, but every little helps. Thank you for following, Munzel. Yeah, this job, admittedly, a little bit less exciting than some of the other jobs, but it's got to be done. We're going to try and get as much money from these fields as possible. And once again, we don't have animals just yet, but once we do get animals, we can use straw to feed them. Ooh, jackknifed. So at least now we've got the equipment for when we do actually need it for our animals. Okay, nearly 40 bales out already. We'll come back for that row. And again, little missed bits. Unless we have like 40% of a bale left or something like that, then we will not bother going back for the missed bits. They will eventually disappear. Hey bestie, says Blue Heart. Hey Blue Heart! Welcome to the stream. Oh, way overturned there. Oh, this is the last row. Oh no, there's 2 more. I said I'd go back for them, didn't I? Nearly there now. Again, this particular job, not the most exciting, but we're nearly done. And we got over 50 bales out of this field. I think it will probably hit 60 by the time we're done. On the energy drink, says Munzel. Yes, yes I am. On the monster again. Got no iron brews with me today. But hopefully I'll be picking some more up tomorrow for next week. Okay, 58. Right. Let's just quickly turn off. Now, are there any... Can we overload this at all? I don't know if we can, because there's some bales in there, as you can see. How do I overload it? There we go. Oh, that accidentally unloaded the twine as well. There we go. So we got 61 bales out of this field, and we've got 69% left. So we may as well see if we can pick up a few little bits that are left over, and see if we can get it to a full one. This little bit here. Quite a big bit there. Oh. Overturned again. Like I say, it's very tricky with the baler being off to the side like that. Turn on. Thank you for following, Blue Heart. There we go. 73%, nearly. I think we can definitely get another bale out with the leftovers. There we go, a bit more there. There's a bit there. But there is a bale in the way and I don't want to get stuck on it. There we go. There we go. Yep, we are taking a bale with us now. We got a passenger. Okay, there's a bit more at this corner that I've just completely missed there. %. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Once again, that unloads the twine as well, which is not ideal, but it is what it is. So we got 62 bales from this field. Quite an impressive amount. Just put that twine back in, fold the baler up, lift the pickup obviously, and let's get back off to the farm. So, in terms of, we got about 15 minutes left on the stream. I'm going to leave the picking up of the bales until the next stream. Again, they'll keep. They're not going anywhere. So I'm just going to take the baler back to the farm, and then we'll wrap things up for today. Not been a bad stream though. Quite enjoyed it. Hopefully you've enjoyed watching the game. There's not many people here right now, but we did get up to about 60, 70 watchers, which is good. And we've actually got 76 new followers from today's stream, so thank you all so much for following. I'll take a proper closer look once we get back to the farm, once we've wrapped everything up. We're also going to need to get the pallet of twine back to the farm, because it's got like another 5,000 meters of twine on it or whatever. I'll probably get a wheel loader. There's a really great Volvo BM wheel loader in the Platinum Edition. I might get that to handle our pallets and stuff like that. We'll see how it goes. Okay, here we are, back at the farm. Where to put the baler? I think the baler's small enough to fit in... Is it small enough to fit in one of the little berths here? No it isn't. Or is it? Hold on. It is. It's going to be tricky, but it will fit. If I don't hit that shed there. Oh, and now I've jackknifed. Okay. Oh, it's going to be close, but I think it'll go in. It'll go in. The question is, will it come back out? Because with my parking, it's quite likely that it will be stuck in there forever. Okay, there we go. Oh, detach it. Not bad. It's not quite straight. It's close enough. Neither am I. Just park this in here next to it. There we go. Lights off. Engine off. How do I turn on my torch? There we go. Not bad. Not a bad couple of days. Okay, so I'm going to sleep, and then we'll wrap things up in the morning. How do I sleep? There we go. I'm going to sleep till 5 this time, just so we got that extra hour of work in the next stream.